right, great. We are live on another live work session. If you've never seen a live work session before, I'm here with Olivia, and we're going to be working, and we're basically going to ignore anybody who's watching. But we're live. You can watch, or maybe you'll see the replay. And of course, if any of you that watch this are interested in doing a live session, work session with me, you can always go ahead and reach out Diane at dianehockman.com. And I can give you details on how to get into doing one of these. So, Miss Olivia.
Yes, ma'am.
We spent a day together not too long ago. Just in the lake, which was amazing. It was
so fun. It was
such a fun night. And so now we're ready to kind of go to the next level. You've been doing a lot with the show. You know, you have a food show. You've really picked up your posting on Facebook and, you know, all of the different things I saw. In fact, I saw you guys this morning walking, and you were like behind all these fronds and stuff. And I think you're now ready and looking to, how am I going to monetize? How am I going to incorporate my love for food, et cetera, with my network marketing business, et cetera. Now, do you have other things that you are marketing besides the network marketing company? Do you have anything else that you're selling?
No, just, you know, eventually looking to sell some of my own products.
Yes.
Around the food business. But no, I'm an affiliate marketer, of course, but that's not my focus right now.
Okay.
So I do have an affiliate company, as you know, that I'm part of. But yeah, right now it's just the MLM and my own stuff.
Yeah, and you have an affiliate program and a couple other things.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is actually, I'm probably going to draw some pictures. I'm going to share my screen clean. I'm always afraid I'm going to share my screen. It's going to be like some kind of secret naked picture. but if there were any, I'd be like, yeah. Let me just open up what I want to. Okay, so that's it. Whoops, come back. Minimize that. We're gonna share screen. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. So this is my, and I can't see you when I'm sharing my screen, so don't me if I'm not looking right at you. This little program allows me to draw pictures.
Cool.
So here's what we're doing. Okay, and you might have seen me draw this a million times because I tend to draw it a lot.
I've seen it.
Well, we're gonna remember it again.
I like it.
This is all of
it too many times.
This is all of our media. Okay, whether it's YouTube Lives, Facebook Lives, our posts on Facebook, Instagram, whatever we're doing for media. Okay. In your case, you know, you have a food show. Now, during the food show, are you sending them anywhere to jump on a newsletter or anything like that?
I have. I'm not doing it consistently enough. I'm not doing it consistently.
Okay.
And I've been kind of hesitant, honestly, to send them. What I'd love to do is send them right to the food hub, but it's not open yet. You know, I have some work still to do to get that set. So I've kind of backed off from inviting them anywhere, frankly.
Well, that's a mistake. Okay.
Yeah.
Because we need to build a list or an audience somewhere. Okay. You do have access to My Lead System Pro?
Yes.
Okay. So you do have access to build a little capture page of some sort. We always want to send them to a location where they can raise their hand and say, I'd like to hear more from you. Okay. And even if your whole thing's not ready and your site's not ready, and because that's what I hear from people all the time is, well, this isn't ready, or that's not ready, or this isn't ready.
Yeah.
What we're doing is we're just talking, and we're not giving people anywhere to come to be part of our community. It could be a Facebook group. I like email lists better. You know me. A lot of people love Facebook groups. It doesn't matter. But when I say capture, we just, you know, this is where we get their permission. And we have to get their permission to be continually communicating with them. So whether you're capturing them into a Facebook group, whether you're capturing them into a newsletter, doesn't matter. Okay. What matters is that if we're doing content and we're not sending them somewhere where we can directly communicate with them, we're missing the boat.
Okay. I guess actually I have more recently invited them to my Facebook group, but
okay.
I'm not getting a whole lot of people coming in there. I mean, the people that I would expect to be there are there, but I'm not getting a lot of people watching the lives to invite either. So that's kind of a kind of a sticky point. I think that one thing that's happened is we've had some problems with videoing, and I haven't felt great about the last couple lives. And I think engagement has dropped. I also know that some of the people that always used to be on, I know they're really super busy and people are doing their own thing. And it's summer. So, but I feel like, the Facebook group is fun. It's just not quite doing it for me right now. And I have a small list, and I do send out email letters on occasion, and I have a blog, and sometimes I write, but there are all these pieces that are sort of disconnected. So I'll let you know.
But yeah, because you're doing what most people do, which is like, this isn't working enough. Yeah. This is working enough. This is working enough. And right. You haven't been doing any of it long enough to see a result that you want.
Okay.
So if you're going live, do you know approximately how many views you're getting on the video? Not live when they're on, but
it varies. And I honestly don't pay that much attention because I know some people are just scrolling through. So anywhere from sometimes maybe a dozen to up to maybe 40 or 50
views, or people on live.
Not live views. Well, sometimes more views, but like I said, I don't really notice. I know it registers every time someone scrolls through. So
okay. Let's do this.
It's not consistent, I guess, is the main thing. It's just been really inconsistent. Sometimes there are a bunch of people, and sometimes.
Well, that's normal.
I guess that's normal. Yeah. Yeah.
That's normal. Hang on. Do you do it on your profile? Do you do it on a page?
I do it on my profile. And I often share it onto my page and into the group. Not on
the page,
the group. Sorry, the group. I often put it in the group, but the last couple I really haven't felt like I wanted to put anywhere.
Okay, hang on. Let's share.
We're gonna try to get better at that. So we're getting better. We've got some equipment upgrades.
So what I'm trying to do is give you a thought process, okay? Because your mind is jumping around with the feeling of not enough.
Yeah.
Right? And we have to put that at bay and set that aside, the feeling of not enough, because we can't gain momentum if we're constantly judging it in its early stages.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I want to teach you is you're not competing against anything but yourself. So if you are getting, let's say you've gotten 20 some odd views on lives, the next goal is to get 30. The next goal is to get 40. Follow. Okay. It's not to get thousands and not to try to deal with what everybody else is doing, but it's for you to focus on beating yourself. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
You want to worry about. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because that's the going up and the gaining of momentum. So I just want to take a quick look.
Okay, good.
First of all, you look gorgeous.
Thank you.
Okay, so you had 142 views on this one, which is not bad at all.
Okay. And I love
peas too. I love fresh peas. They're so hard to find.
It's so hard.
You have no idea. They're so hard to find. And I think that's the most recent one. Okay.
Let's see. We did one last Wednesday with Brian in it. I videoed, and it was sideways. I did it sideways.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then let's not look at that one because that
No,
would be
no.
okay. I'm just looking for the ones that are
It
long.
would be there. Look, I think that was one.
Yeah, I see it up there. So this one has 159. Okay. This one has. You photograph very well, young lady.
Oh, thank you. I've never thought so, but thanks.
I think so. I think you photograph tremendously well.
I don't think we ever like our own photos really much, do we?
No. So we're ranging from 100 to 150. We haven't quite cracked 150 live views yet. Okay.
Okay.
So I want to teach you about how to build up this audience. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Must be meeting 10 new people a day in whatever space we want to build up the audience. And by the way, build up an audience in any space and still sell them something from MLM or marketing tools.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. So if we do, have you joined a bunch of food groups?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you meeting any people inside of the groups?
I am meeting some. Yeah.
Okay. Have you invited any of them to take a look at what you're doing with the show?
I have posted, I have a couple times, you know, I guess I've been a little bit worried about that. Like, it felt, I don't know. I didn't know if it was really okay to do that. And, I don't know why. I guess there's no reason why it wouldn't be okay. It's an invitation.
Yeah, you're not selling anything,
Yeah.
you're not doing anything, especially so like you and I, let's say we both like Billy Joel music.
Mm-hmm.
And we figure out that we both like Billy Joel music. If you sent me a Billy Joel video and say, have you ever seen this version of him doing this song live? That would just be you loving on somebody else that loves Billy Joel music.
Right.
You know, there would be nothing awkward or weird about that. Now, if you had a secret, super secret agenda behind it, like there was a sales pitch at the end of it or something, well, then that would be weird. But your food is just something that you truly enjoy. So I would be connecting, not trying to do anything other than meet people that are local. One, because you talk about the local food scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also people that are into food. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would just be meeting them and finding out, and I would be interested in them first and finding out, well, what are they into? What are they doing? And then it's very easy to say, well, we do a cooking show every Wednesday at whatever. You know, love to be friends with you. Maybe you'll catch it sometime. Love your input. Okay. This is just a normal engagement type of thing. This is, I mean, I'm always talking marketing with other marketers. I love marketing. Like it's not marketing. And that's not my love. I'm actually like a weird marketing freak. I love marketing books all the time. I'm watching marketing videos. I'm a weirdo. So when my friend Casey tagged me in a post the other day and he was talking about prospecting versus attraction and so on and so forth. And we were having a discussion. Nobody was selling anybody. He was working on a presentation and he wanted some other marketers' input on something. He tagged me. I wasn't offended that he tagged me because it was marketers talking about marketing.
All right.
Guys are foodies talking about food. Well, there's foodies everywhere that love to talk about food.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you find out that somebody is really into low country seafood boils, I'm making that up. I don't know if that's a thing. And you're doing a low country seafood boil and you tag them and say, hey, how'd we do? There's nothing weird about that. That's conversation amongst people that love something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In the back of your mind, 17 steps out, there's probably a sale of something someday, to someone here in the front. You're putting, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody who loves food but needs to lose a few pounds would like to try the product you're using. It's 5 steps out, 6 steps out.
Yeah.
Here, you're not soliciting, you're not doing anything wrong because they would at some point they would notice that you talking about it and go, hey, what is it?
Yes. Yes.
Hear about it. So like this session right now, we're broadcasting it live. There's no agenda to it.
Right.
Who wants to do one and they want to reach out to me to do one? It's great, but there's no agenda. Why am I doing this? Because I'm lazy and I don't feel like creating content. And in this way I help people and it's good stuff. But somebody might say, I'm interested, but that's not my agenda. My agenda is to help you and let some people watch me help you. It might help them. So I want you to let go of feeling like you have some kind of weird agenda, because I know you, I've spent a day with you. You don't have a weird agenda. Okay. Okay. Now, here's what's cool. If you meet someone who is interested in some of the stuff you're doing, maybe you meet someone and they need to build capture pages or have courses, or they have a recipe course they want to put out, and you have a tool to buy that you get a referral fee on, so be it. You can become an Amazon affiliate. Maybe you recommend some pots or pans or some kind of flipper or kitchen gadget. Cool. I mean, if you recommended a kitchen gadget to me, I would use it. You know, I mean, you guys cook a lot and you're knowledgeable about this stuff. If you recommended a product and if you can make a couple dollars on it, I would want you to. Maybe there's a spice blend or something and it's $12 and you make $1. That wouldn't bother me to have you make $1 when you recommend something. Maybe I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to get into a different mentality about selling things, because you're only selling things to people that have a desire for the thing. You're not in there going, let me show you how to make food so I can fatten you up so I can sell you diet pills. or you know, you know, you follow that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's I get a little bit more, you know, like, hey, I mean, a lot of people who like food need to lose a few pounds or need appetite control.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unusual, right?
And people who like to be home cooking might be wanting a business around that too, because maybe yeah.
Or other people might be interested in publishing some products or recipe things or something like that. And or people might be looking to buy kitchen tools or different things. Like you might demo something that you do with a Vitamix and somebody wants to buy one. $40 when somebody buys a Vitamix, why not?
Yeah, I've done that actually. I am an Amazon affiliate. So I've done that with a couple of things. But yeah, I don't know why I have this fear, because it's not like I've worked on my trepidation around selling, and I think about it just the way you described it, that it's just sort of way back in the background. But then there's this thing around getting in trouble in groups, I guess. And but really, I mean, I have no hesitation to invite my family to come watch the live if I'm doing something I know they love, or so I don't know why I frame it the other way for myself.
I think we got to look at what the rules are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if a group has rules that says you can't post your content or something, then you're just meeting people and potentially becoming friends, so they're going to see it. If the group, you know, like, you know, I'm going to make a ridiculous analogy. If I go to a beach and you're not allowed to be topless, and I'm topless, they're going to throw me off the beach, right? Now, another beach you can go to and you're allowed to be topless. And I'm only using the ridiculous analogy, right? So if I go into a group and you're allowed to show what you're up to, and I show what I'm up to, great. If I'm not allowed to, and I do it by mistake or whatever, what the worst thing that happens is they say, don't come in here, or you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
People tend to get a little touchy on Facebook. Everybody jumps to a conclusion. You know, somebody sends them something and they're all like, oh, they're evil, you know, and it's just a guy making a mistake. You know, you just got to let go of it, because one, who cares?
Right. Yeah. Right.
The phrase that my mentor taught me, that you've heard me say dozens of times, it changed my life. I'm looking for people that are looking for me. There are tons of people that don't like vegetables. You cook a lot of vegetables. You have pictures of beautiful eggs and a couple tomatoes. And like, I looked at your picture today. I think it was today. I don't like cottage cheese. Disgusting. Disgusting. You couldn't pay me to eat it. Okay.
You and Brian.
How do you really feel about it, Diane? I don't like cottage cheese. Now, I like the eggs. I like the tomatoes. I like the presentation. I don't want that thing. Okay. If I have a channel that's all cottage cheese all day, I'm not tuning in.
Right.
But your channel is this, and this, and there's a little bit of cottage cheese, I just don't eat the cottage cheese, right? So lots of people that look at, anybody that's online, you like dogs, I like dogs. You like giving the dogs cheese. I love giving dogs cheese. You like, I like this. Good. We all like this. Cottage cheese, I don't like. What are you going to do? Like, are you going to never put cottage cheese on a plate again because, Diane doesn't like it? It might offend her.
No.
It might offend her.
Right.
It's just get real comfortable with being who you are and oscillating that out. And people who like you will show up. And the people who are not like you or don't dig what you're doing won't. They might see it and they leave. The beauty of attraction marketing is you don't feel the rejection because the media that you're creating sorts the people before they ever get to you.
Right.
That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That's very comforting. And I think this is just about like renewing that trust in that process and getting sort of, I mean, I feel scattered about it, like where to put my effort.
Which is why I want to show you the picture. I want to go back to the picture.
Good. Okay, good. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Share screen. Share screen. Share screen. Share screen. Okay. So this is the media. We need lots of media. Okay, whether it's Facebook Lives, it's the pictures and the images you're doing. It's also the meeting. The meeting of people. Okay, media and connections, I should say. Okay.
Yep.
So, and then we're sending them to an environment. Let me change the words capture. I don't know if I can get rid of this little block here that I made. I don't know how to get rid of it now. But
okay.
Another way to say it is sales environment. Okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be messy. It's always messy when I do this, but now when you hear sales environment, that's kind of like scary, right? Oh my God, it's a sales environment, right? But isn't a shopping mall a sales environment? Isn't Target a sales environment? Target, they've put all the things they sell into this big box, and you walk around happily and gladly with the shopping cart, deciding what interests you. And maybe you go in and you need some towels that day, and you don't need a screwdriver. You're not offended by the screwdrivers, right? Because Target can sit and go, Olivia's coming in the door and she doesn't want a screwdriver. Right? Because their job is to put out all the things that people might want. Your job is to share all the food and the different things that you guys love. And now, like, some people don't like dogs. You have a lot of dogs hanging around and grand dogs, and you got dogs. Somebody might be a cat person, so you can't not put out your dogs because somebody doesn't like dogs, right? You can't not serve, I don't know, Brussels sprouts, which I happen to love, but a lot of people don't. So you can't never serve Brussels sprouts if you guys like them, or cauliflower. I'm just thinking of things that people turn their nose up at. There ain't a vegetable alive that I've ever tasted that I don't like, except for maybe durian smells really bad. But if you can get it past your nose, I'm gonna
that's what I've heard.
Nose, it's all right, but it's wow, it's special. That I really don't like. Other people won't eat anything green.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you do is not for them. It's not offensive to them. It's just not for them. Right. To get them into the sales environment, our job is to provide them with pieces of content and offers. Okay. So them into the environment, then you let them know and you promote, hey, we're live on Wednesday, we're cooking lamb chops. The next week, hey, we're live on Wednesday, we're cooking some kind of fish, right? So you're telling them about your content, and interspersed with those announcements about content, there's also going to be some offers. These little stars represent whether they're emails, posts in your group, whatever your announcement is that you're communicating in. So then in one of the letters that you send out, it might say, I'm so glad I found these herbal supplements I'm using, because Brian and I were put in front of a full cheesecake last night and I could only eat bites. I still enjoyed it, but I didn't go overboard. First time in forever. Okay. So in using that communication inside of your normal communication, what starts to happen, I'm going to take this off and so I can see your face again, is people get used to you saying, hey, we have a Facebook Live. Hey, here's a great recipe. Hey, here's some pots and pans we're using. Hey, I just built this cool website. Here's how it looks. And if you ever need to build a website like this, reach out to us. We'll show you how to do it. It's no different than reach out to us and we'll show you how to cook the lamb chops.
Yeah.
The energy is no different. So when you serve me, you just watched, you responded to an offer. I said, hey, I'd like to do some of these live work sessions. I'd like to take some clients. It would normally be this much, but if you're willing to allow me to use it as content, I'll discount it heavily. I sent that out to thousands of people. So many people responded. You were one of them. Were you offended by my saying it?
No.
No. Did you go, oh my God, she's always selling?
No.
No. Did you go, that bitch, she's hard? No.
No.
You thought, this is cool. I'd like this. This would be helpful to me. Now, thousands of people that either didn't read the letter or didn't think it was helpful. I have not lamented a single one of them. Now, tomorrow, I might send out a letter, and that letter will say, hey, I just recorded a new video. Here it is. And the energy is the same from when I say something that's an offer that they can buy versus I say something that's some content for them to use. My energy doesn't change. You follow that?
Yeah, that really helps. That makes sense.
So I'm just taking all the people from my content and all the people that I meet, and I'm inviting them into the environment, Facebook group, email list, or both. And I'm communicating with them in there, and my focus is to locate things, create things that serve them. Some of those things are things they can buy from me. Some of those things are content I created, or, you know, in your case, or the show. And I don't, the analogy I always use and what's my book is about is when I was a kid, I lived in New York City and we went into the corner store, Paul's Corner Store. I could have walked in for 10 cents worth of candy. That tells you how old I am, that I could go to the store with a dime, get a little bag of candy. I could have walked in for 10 cents worth of candy, or my mother could have walked in for some porterhouse steaks. He treated us the same. He treated us the same. He wasn't worried about the fact that I was only spending a dime today. And then my mother, this is a long time ago, but my mother would come in and spend $20, which back then was a bunch of money. Because to him, we were his clientele.
Yeah.
And did a dog just come in?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, don't be sorry.
Is he making noise? He's doing something weird with my blinds over here.
Say hi.
I'll see. He'll come over maybe.
Okay.
He's shorter though. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So there's no difference. So when I'm on, let's say I'm doing the show, if I say, blah, 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 today I'm using these, you know, this particular pan, I got it, and it has a coating on it that's nonstick, but is less toxic than most of the other things that you're going to find out there. For years, we've used nonstick pans, and of course, they're great when you're frying eggs, etc. But we're figuring out that the coating is not so good for people. I'm going to put a link in the description on where you can look at the pans if something like that interests you.
Okay.
You're just a resource. You're just showing them something.
Okay.
Cool. Nobody has to feel offended. This is a Google water bottle. My daughter works at Google, right? If I took a sip of this, would you be like, oh, she's got a Google water bottle. She's trying to sell me one. Like, buy one. No, boo, boo. My kid got me one. I'm just telling you something that's sitting on the table. We have to get matter of fact. The focus is the audience. The second focus is the service and offers. Okay. A lot of times people say, well, I'm not making any money. And I'm like, when's the last time you asked anybody to give you any? And they look at me like I'm insane.
Mhm.
Well, because you're not telling anybody you have anything available. That would be like Target covering everything up and going, walk around, but we don't have anything for sale. We don't, you can't buy anything.
Yeah.
You know, that would be goofy, right?
Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts.
That's, or them sitting the manager going, I don't know, they might get mad at me if we sell things. We have to be open. You do own a store. And you also provide a show where you're providing content and service for people that love the things you love. And you utilize marketing tools because you're a marketer, and you use some products from your network marketing company because you're somebody who loves food, and having some control is helpful to you. And you might utilize different things in the kitchen, and you might also share, spice blends or something that you guys make, or some of the different beautiful fennel salt that you gave me, which is beautiful. You might hold it up and go, this is fennel. This is a special fennel salt that Brian and I make, in the house, and da 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 da. And there's a link in the bottom if you want to take a look and pick some of this up. It's just a matter of, if somebody doesn't like fennel, they're not going to go for fennel salt.
Right. Yeah.
By the way, I'm a spice junkie. Just so you know, I'm always looking at spice blends, and every store I go in, and a lot of times they're really expensive. Penzi spices. I
know. Yeah.
So we have a Penzi store, so I just go in there and I'm like a kid in a candy shop. I'm a spice.
Oh, yeah. I love the Penzi.
I said to my daughter the other day, I said, we have so many spices. We have to pare this down. It's just too much, and it's a lot of times you buy it and it sits there, and it.
We just had to put more shells on the inside of one of our doors for the spices. Right? A whole floor to ceiling.
You held up a spice blend, I'd be like, what is it? Where do I get it?
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. So,
like my mom doesn't use spices at all in her cook. She uses salt and pepper, butter. That's it. She doesn't cook with spices. We got her up to garlic powder.
All right.
Crazy. And she won't buy anything but the kind from the dollar store, but she's happy. So my mom doesn't use spices. She's not a candidate for that. Now my mother is into very good meat. Like she'll skimp on a lot of things, but not meat. So you have been promoting one of the new meat services, and that might have interested her.
Right.
A lot of my daughter's vegan, so it's just the two of us. So we tend to eat largely vegan at home. So I might not be looking for a meat service. If it's something that you guys use or that you recommend, you just got to get comfortable with that, and get comfortable that until you build the audience up, you won't get a ton of response. Focus on the audience. When you have an audience, dropping offers is easy. Dropping offers with no audience.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Yeah. So I guess then what I'm doing, all these pieces, it's okay that they feel like all these pieces because they're all working towards one end, right? And that is just to get as much valuable stuff out for people that I can, right?
The pieces are not pieces. They're parts of a machine. And the engine to the machine is the meeting people and the content up front that draw people in.
Okay.
So networking with other people that are into the things you're into is very important. Like I network with a lot of other marketers. I know everyone. I make it my job to know everybody in my space. Your space is food or veggies or whatever you decide your space is. You should be networking with everybody that's talking about it. You should be going over like on Twitter and searching things like fennel and see who's talking about it. Engage in those conversations. People will start to notice you because you're part of the dialogue going on in this. A big part of the marketing dialogue in our space. You can become a big part of the, farm to table or whatever that movement might be. Different chefs groups. People love when like if they're passionate about food and you mention the name of a chef or they mention it and you know who it is, it makes it. Or if talk about fennel seed, but fennel, a lot of people have never tasted fennel in their life. Say, oh my God, I had the most incredible braised fennel last night, and people look at me like I'm insane. Or somebody that knows what braised fennel is. We all are looking for that person to connect to.
Right.
that knows, like, some people don't like tomatoes, but to me, summer tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, are like a gift from God.
Yeah, yeah.
When you start talking about that, what are you doing with your tomatoes? Or if somebody says they have extra tomatoes, I lunge at them. I'm like, really? You know?
Yeah.
So getting involved in those conversations and not be sheepish, because you're not doing anything to these folks except talking about what they love.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. That helps so much. Yeah, I just don't know why I've built up this sort of hesitation about sharing.
Because
And
you feel like maybe you're bothering people or something like that, but you can't.
yeah, and then I feel sort of like I make mistakes when I'm cooking and someone might find out, or, you know,
Okay.
the video quality is embarrassing to me or something. I have all these things that and it's probably fine,
I've built a tremendous career over the last 20 years being a screw up.
I know you always say that.
I say that, and then people are like, "Oh no, you really know this stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, because I've been struggling with it for 20 years." I just helped a friend who was a friend of yours as well build a website, and they were like, they think I'm a whiz, and I said, "Okay, sit here and watch me struggle. Hang out with me and watch me do this." And they were like I was ready to stab myself in the eye, and they were like, "You're really not good at this." I'm like, "No, I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it." So here's the thing: most home cooks are not fancy. Okay, you don't need to be what's the lady Bree, whatever her name is, the one that's on the ranch on the Food Network. She's got you know who I'm talking
the
about.
Southern lady? No,
she lives on a ranch. Her husband's like a cowboy, and I can't think of her name.
I can't think who that is.
There's all these daytime Food Network people. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
fact,
yeah.
Right. Let me try my headset because we're echoing all of a sudden. The average home person, this. Let me try. Let's see if it works. This may be a mistake. That working. Do you hear me?
I hear you fine. Yeah.
Okay. And it's not echoing anymore. It's good.
Cool.
I did a thing the other day. Now we are echoing. A prediction thing on my mastermind. I'm just looking settings. Let's see if it changed.
Yeah, I saw that prediction. That's really fascinating.
2020 and beyond is the day where you either need to go really high end or you need to go to the opposite end. You got to go like ghetto video. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a two-pole because that's what people are going to want. They're going to want little guys to have professional quality video, or little guys to have like wavery cameras and all this other stuff. They want real. That's what Instagram stories and all this stuff is. It's not fancy. I think you might have heard me on one of my calls or something talk about, I met a guy. I'm going to look and see how many subscribers he has on YouTube. It'll blow your mind. Let's see. YouTube. If you've looked at a piano keyboard and stop, I don't want that. I want to look at how many. He has 158,000, almost 159,000 subscribers, right? I met him in Las Vegas. He has a tripod and his cell phone, no mics, no lighting, no nothing. He has 159,000 subscribers.
Wow.
And when he goes live on any given night, he has from 2,000 to 10,000 people live. He's usually one of the top 3 trending channels going live on all of YouTube. Wow. He has nothing fancy. People love to watch it. People love the hijinks and this and that. And I was stunned because when he came over, he sat down next to me and I turned to one of his guys. I go, "No mic, nothing?" And they go, no mic. And I was like, and I'm mouthing it to them because I know the camera can pick me up. And I'm like, "No lights, nothing." They go, no, nothing. It's just a tripod and he films slot machines. That's what he does. So
You know, I mean, you could go buy a lavalier mic, a wireless mic to plug into your phone or whatever you're filming on.
Yeah, I've
and
got
that
one.
cost you a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
Right. You could go get a ring light. You know what? Everybody's busy selling everybody that you need all this stuff. Well, again, I have a ring light. You know where it is? Downstairs.
In the basement.
Correct. I have a green screen, a white screen, and a black screen. You know where they are? In boxes from when
Next
I
to
moved.
the ring light.
Yeah, well, in boxes from when I moved because I haven't opened them back up yet. I have all these sets. I have all this software. Ask me when the last time I edited a video was. 8, 9 years ago. The last time I edited a video. I don't really like everybody puts all these filters on their photos. I don't even know how to do it. And I'm making money. So you know what? I only pulled out this headset because recently I was bugging my daughter and she yelled at me and I was making noise. So I pulled out my headset. You know where my headset was? In a box from when I moved. I will tell you what I do have, and shout out to my buddy, Mr. Higdon. I do have this sucker, which you can turn on. It's a light because at night.
I've got one of those.
Yeah. And you could buy these online. You could buy them from Ray, or you can buy them from just on Amazon or whatever. I do have this sucker, and half the time I don't use it. I certainly don't use the mount. But I do travel. When I travel, I bring this with me for all the videos I'm going to make that I don't make, that I never turn the light on for. So there you go. You know, and what am I doing now? I'm doing these sessions because I'm a lazy ass and I don't feel like recording a bunch of stuff. And I personally think you learn more by watching the actual work than watching somebody talk in theory.
Yeah.
In your case, you guys just need to decide, I'm going to find my people. And that's what I did years ago. I just decided, I'm quirky, Olivia. You know it. I'm quirky. I'm sometimes a little hard to follow. I'm ADHD. I'm not technical. I'm like 4 million reasons why I shouldn't be successful. But what I did was I decided to go out and find my people. And my people know me. They'll know you by the sign. They'll know you. They hear me, and they just go, I like this woman. And other people say, I mean, literally have said to my face, I don't know how anybody can watch you. And it's not my job. Constantly, people tell me, they're like, I don't know how anybody follows you. I don't know how anybody can watch you. I don't know. And it's not my job to worry about that. And it doesn't mean they don't like me. It's just I'm not their teacher, or I'm not their cook. If somebody wants everything, the mise en place perfect, if they want everything perfect and it has to be this and that and chanterelles and they know the difference, and God forbid you call something by the wrong name or something, or they only need, like you can't use a regular ingredient. It has to be like, like Irish butter, and you can't use butter from the supermarket. If that's their bag, they're probably not for you.
No.
Unless you are into that. I don't know. But
you've seen my kitchen video.
It's the same with wine. It's like wine, the wine world. There's a lot of wine I like. My favorite wine is like $14 a bottle. It's not an expensive wine. I've had wine that's hundreds of dollars a bottle that other people have bought. I won't buy it. And that's a treat for me, right? Other people are like, how could you use that mass-produced wine? They're not for me, when it comes to wine.
Right. Yeah.
I can't worry about pleasing the people that are not my match. And when you embrace that about attraction marketing, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Attraction, people think it's like a secret internet method. It's not. It's chemical. Somebody meets someone and they just like them. Or somebody meets somebody and they just don't like them. And then there's a lot of times we're just in the middle. Tolerable. It's fine. But I know you've met people that you just went, I love this person.
Yeah.
And I know you've met other people that you were like, right? So when we become visible and decide to open up and become visible and just be who we are, quirks and all, those people can locate us. So here's what you want to be doing. 1, really get networking in the food space.
Okay.
Really get networking. Okay. And it doesn't have to be just the food space. Anybody you see talking about food, you should be engaging in those posts and adding more people that are into food. Okay.
Okay.
2, and I like to meet 10 people a day. That's me. Okay. I'm full time. I'm always meeting at least 10 people a day. Okay.
Yeah.
And if I'm somewhere where there's more people around, like if I'm at a food show, I'm going to meet more than 10 people that weekend. I'm going to create my content and I'm going to promote it. So if you do the show, you're doing the show. I don't think you're promoting it all week.
I'm not promoting it.
No, because somebody might see it and not like you, right, Olivia? And if somebody sees it and doesn't like the condiment that you used and they stick up their nose at it, it might. So we have to promote our content.
Yeah, I can definitely do better at that.
All week long.
Yeah.
We promote it to our list. We promote it. We refer to it. We go back and we engage with the comments that are on it. We keep commenting so it keeps coming up in people's feeds. We can share it to multiple groups. If a group will let you share, go ahead and share that content out and or make a graphic that tells people to come over and see it. You might want to consider moving the show to a page and not keeping it on the profile, although I'm very bad at this because I like my base is on my profile, so I tend not to do a lot of stuff on my page, but then my page has crickets. I did just recently start doing lives on my page and actually throwing a couple bucks at an ad to get it more seen. I mean, you literally can do $1 a day.
Yeah.
You can spend $10 a week on promoting the show. Are you going to get a ton of traction for that? No. But will it give you more eyeballs than you have right now and or put it in front of the people that already like you? Yeah. You know, tweeting it, going on Instagram and putting a graphic telling people to come watch the show. That type of stuff.
I've done it a couple times, but I haven't been consistent about it. So.
And so when we're not consistent, we have to ask ourselves, why? You know, why am I not doing this? And it's usually because we're afraid to be seen.
It's less that for me now than I get worried that I'm not going to be able to pull it together to do the show. And that's just
so then there's no show this week.
Right. Yeah.
You know, this show has been preempted because of the Super Bowl or whatever, you know, there's something on the Olympics are on, you know, and the show's been preempted. You also could decide not to do the show on a schedule, like, you know, like have to make it on a certain day. And why not just do it on the days you want, as long as you know it'll get done.
Yeah.
Instead of putting that pressure on yourself, why not just do it when you want to do it? You know, if you're cooking anyway.
Right. I guess I kind of got the message that it had to be in a consistent day and time for people to really get used to showing up, and that they wouldn't show up if it was random. But
well, a lot of people teach that. I've never done it. I've never done anything consistent in my life, and here I am. I'm consistently inconsistent and inconsistently consistent, if that makes any sense. I meet 10 people a day. I create content regularly and promote it. I don't feel like I have to do it at a certain time. Like these sessions, I didn't prescribe. Like I have a lot of people that got sessions. I didn't say they have to be at 2 and 5. You know, because I'm using the recorded content.
Right.
So I'm not too worried about it. You know, is there wisdom to it? Yes. Do I think it paralyzes a bunch of people when they feel like it has to be that way? Yeah.
That's the problem that's why this is so timely for me, because I felt myself getting into a thing where I didn't feel like doing it anymore.
It's not fun anymore.
It stopped being fun because I had a couple of ones I didn't feel good about. And, you know, my brain is going to take over and avoid that feeling afterwards.
Tell me what didn't feel good about them.
Let's see. Well, it was 3 weeks ago I did one, and what was wrong with that one? There was something I think we had a screw up in the middle of it with, I think maybe the phone rang, something happened that kind of threw me off in the middle of it. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. And then the next week, well, I know what happened right before we had a failure of the gimbal. And so we were so like, this was 2
What's a
minutes before
gimbal?
the thing that holds the camera steady when you're moving and,
Okay, okay, I
um,
gotcha.
so we had one of those, and we've had it fail a couple times. This time it just wasn't working right before live, like 2 minutes until, and so we kind of had to switch everything around, and I was nerved up, and Brian was too. So
Okay.
he had to manually hold the camera. It was
I
very
need to
shaky.
change your perspective. I'm gonna break something to you, Olivia.
Okay.
You're a home cook doing a show in your home. Has that occurred to you yet? You're a home cook
On
doing a
occasion.
show in your home. So in your home, there's phones that ring, and dogs that bark, and doorbells that ring. So why not just reposition it as I'm a home cook doing a show from home, as opposed to I'm a Food Network star with a production staff? See, you're creating an
Yeah.
expectation that nobody else has
Right.
but you,
Yeah, that's crazy.
right?
And in fact, I know that some of those imperfections and the rawness that we were talking about on last Thursday, or you were talking about, that is more attractive to people. And I know that the kitchen, I mean, I've had nicer kitchens. It's just a basic little kitchen. And I know that I could regret that I didn't have the nicer kitchen I used to have in the past or whatever, different house, whatever.
You also
But
moved because of your son and
yeah,
because of love of family.
yeah,
And
yeah.
when you
And
moved, you discovered this whole new world of food and access to food that you just don't get in Vermont in the same
that's
way.
right. That's
So
right.
tell the story, hon. Tell
Yeah.
the
Okay.
story. The story is beautiful. I mean, I know the story, right?
Mhm.
The story is
Mhm.
beautiful. And saying, you know what? I wish I had my 6 burner stove, but I don't because we're down here, well, Ollie's, and da 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 da.
Yeah.
Or you know what? If I had been in Vermont right now, I wouldn't have gotten this or whatever, and
Yeah.
and toss it in and make it part of the color of the story. I left my home, my
Mhm.
house. I sold my
Mhm.
house and I'm living in a townhouse now. Some things here are nicer than what I had before. Some things are not. My kitchen is
Mhm.
smaller, my this, my that. It is what it is. And let's face it, most of America doesn't have a gourmet kitchen. Most
Mhm.
of America doesn't have this and that. Now I'm going to give you one other suggestion. Um, you don't have to do it live either, honey. You can
I know.
record it and edit it.
I've tried, but you know what happened to me is someone, I forget who it was described this perfectly the other day. And I've tried to record a video now. I tried to record an introduction to some cooking with a script, with not even a script, but I just thought I knew what to say. I got so nervous doing the recorded one, way more nervous. And
I agree.
I'd rather have food flying around and drop something than feel like the pressure of doing a
Then
recorded
good.
one.
Then embrace it.
Okay.
It's live. It's like
Right.
Saturday Night Live. Sometimes they would crack up and mess up, and
Yeah.
and that was remember the old Carol Burnett show?
Mhm.
Part of the thing that everybody liked is when Harvey Korman would lose it. They'd start
Oh, yeah,
laughing in the middle
yeah.
of the show, and you would hope that it would happen
Yeah.
because even though that wasn't a live show, they left it in because there was
Mhm.
joyousness about insanity. And so
Yeah.
you've tried it both ways and now you prefer the live.
Yeah.
So now embrace the live, embrace that you're a home cook in a home kitchen doing something live and have fun with it. And before everybody was live, before they had live video, I used to record videos where I would let chaos happen in my household. And I never took it out or I didn't redo
Mhm.
it. Like, at one point I was doing a video, a very serious training video, and my kids start screaming and beating the crap out of each other down the hall. So I just kept going and then I put subtitles. Yes, those are my kids. Yes, I really work from home. No children were hurt in the filming of this episode.
That's
Everybody
great.
loved it. They went
Mhm.
berserk. They thought it was the funniest thing ever. But everybody else would have thrown it out because it
Yeah.
wasn't perfect enough. I believe that we own home businesses. So there is no perfection. in this. There's no perfection in corporate business either. We just make believe.
Yeah.
And this industry for too long, we've been trying to make believe that we all live in mansions and we all have Jaguars and whatever Maseratis and we all this and we all that. You know what? I don't. I travel a lot. That's my, that's my thing. I don't do all of that. I don't have all of that. I have a simple kitchen. I like to make tacos, like you guys made that homemade tortillas. Notice how I know your content. It's not because I'm just looking to be nice. One, I didn't know we were going to do this session. And two, it's because I'm not being nice. It interests me.
Okay.
I've never made homemade tortillas. That looked really good. I've never done this. I've never done that. You might watch me do something else. You might watch me on a cruise ship or something. That's one of my things and go, oh, that's cool. Maybe not. Maybe you hate the ocean. I don't know. But us being who we are and taking it out to the world and then getting comfortable with offering both content, additional content, the recipes, the transcript, whatever, and offers. Here's where I got this. Here's how I made this spice blend. Here's where to get good spices. You can become affiliate to all of these things. Here's the supplements I use to make sure I get a good night's sleep. Here's the supplements I use to, to keep myself under control. Any of that stuff when it just is what it is. I don't worry, I sell, supplements and I'm overweight. I'm losing weight, but I'm overweight. And the last time I did it, I thought I had to be perfect and I wanted to be perfect. This time I'm like, look, I'm 52 years old. I need to lose weight. I'm losing weight. I'm doing great. Here's who I am. Take it or leave it. If I'm not skinny enough for you, get out. If you don't like, and then I don't want to be patrolled by the food police. Some nights I'm going to have a steak because I want to live my life.
Yeah.
And if somebody's going to look at me and go, well, you can't have a steak because you're on a diet, because you're in the health or wellness company or whatever. I'm like, it's not who I am.
No, you're living your life. And so I guess I was kind of stuck too on like what story to tell, but now I'm realizing that I've got a lot of stories and they can be interwoven in all kinds of different ways and they can be told in lots of different ways.
Yep.
I have a health story, I have a food story, I have a moving here. There are all kinds of, we all have lots of stories, right?
And here's what's interesting. If I were over your house now, which I will show up sooner or later for dinner, if I were over your house and you were cooking and we were chatting, we'd talk about all the stories. What's going on with Ollie? What's going on with this? When's the cheese ceremony with the dogs? Those of you that don't know Olivia, there's a cheese ceremony. Ask her about it. Just message her.
It's every night.
Every night, the cheese ceremony. Where did you get the masa that you made the tortillas with? Where did you, I wish we could get this type of, whatever vegetable by us. Because I live in New England. We don't have the same stuff. On and on and on. We'd just be having conversations and we'd be telling stories. So that's what you're doing with your viewer. You're inviting them into your home for the stories. How did you end up down there? How did you and Brian figure out where all the farmers markets are? How did you decide, are there any new things that you tried since living down there? Where do you find your food ideas? Are you just creative geniuses or are you into, do you watch shows? Are there any bloggers, food bloggers or food channel people like YouTube people that you follow? Tip your hat, edify the people that you follow.
Okay, that's a really good idea. Yeah. And books and
hold up a book. This is my favorite cookbook ever. Whatever, people don't buy cookbooks as much anymore as they did.
I know.
I like the pictures.
I like them.
But I have to admit, I do like one of my favorite things to do is I look like I get this organic veggie box every 2 weeks. And it comes
beautiful.
So I got some turnips the other day. And so I'm just Googling recipes, looking for, what's good to do with turnips, because I never made turnips much before. It turns out I love them. Who knew?
They're good.
Right. So I like to look in my refrigerator and see what I have and then go see, like, I'll plug all those ingredients in and see what recipes come
Yeah,
up.
that's
It's fun.
fun. That's fun.
You know, I call it chopped Hockman edition. You know, it's like your basket, you know, of what's in there. You know, you got some wilty whatever and some of this and that. I did it
Uh-huh.
tonight. I had all these vegetables in the fridge and I was like, these all got to get cooked. So I just cut them all up and I toss them in olive oil and salt and pepper, threw them in the oven, and
Yum.
the rest is
Yeah.
history. Sometimes they need to see, what do you do with leftovers? You know, what do you
Yeah, it's a really good idea. That's a really
you
good
know, it
idea.
doesn't always have to be, especially when it's a home cook in a home,
Mhm.
it doesn't always have to be this perfect thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's a really good idea because some of the best dinners we have are just unplanned, throw together. We
Yeah.
just,
Yeah,
um,
you go in and
hmm,
see what's what, or go into the pantry. What are 7 things you should always have in your pantry for flavor? Um, Yada
a
yada.
good idea. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I needed this. I just needed to get re-energized about the food. I was feeling kind of like, I don't know, just not feeling engaged in it as much as I want to
Mhm.
be because I
Yeah.
do love it. Um,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. If you love something, you're always gonna do better talking about what you love and then showing people other things that you're involved in than trying to talk, like, I watch people, they join, uh, some kinda MLM and they become that. They change their being
Yeah.
for the program,
Hmm.
where that doesn't make sense to me. Or I watch people, they just start, like, everybody thinks they have to be a marketing expert right now. I think it's
Hmm.
some of the worst advice ever given to people in this industry, that everybody thinks they have to be a marketing expert.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
people aren't. I say I happen to be a marketing expert.
Mhm.
I am. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm pretty bad at a lot of things. I am a marketing expert. I've been studying marketing for years. I fell in love with it a long time ago. I love marketing, but most people don't. So then they're trying to make these videos giving marketing tips.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
it's painful to watch them. I'd rather watch you talk about the food you love and then go, "Hey, this is cool. I just got a new microphone. If any of
Mhm,
you guys are bloggers or vloggers, this microphone works really good. What do you think of the sound quality? Leave me a note and tell me what you think. And if you need the link, I put it in the description.
mhm, mhm.
There you
That
go. That's
makes
an offer."
sense.
Because most people aren't, that's not who they are. That's not what they do. But it is a,
Yeah.
a component of running a blog, having a good microphone or lighting or
Mhm.
whatever the case may be. Um, Not eating too much is a component of being around food all day.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
for sure. Yeah, and I've started sort of that conversation because I truly do love not restricting my food like I
hmm
did for a couple of years. It was beneficial, but it wasn't the way I want to live the rest of my life, and not around here, especially in the spring when everything is showing up in the farmers
gorgeous,
markets. And
right?
what's the point of living,
Well,
right?
if you can't have a peach or you can't have
Exactly.
whatever. But
I
beyond that too,
Yeah.
um I think we just have to go, we all know that we shouldn't be eating Snickers bars all day. I
Yeah.
mean, we all know that. But restricting whole food groups and stuff like that, and I know we're gonna get hate mail from, all the keto people and the this people and that people. As a means to an end temporarily, cool.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't seen anybody yet that's really long term been comfortable permanently. Actually, that's a lie. One of my friends from years ago that was in all my classes, he had diabetes and he completely reversed his diabetes and he's very, very, very low carb,
Mhm.
and he stuck to it for years.
Mhm.
But I don't see that many people that stick to anything, and there's all anything super extreme. Um,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. Who am I?
Well,
I'm chunky, so I can't sit and give fitness tips.
and I shouldn't, yeah, I can't give fitness tips either, but I can say that I can confidently say that I think it's better to live your life the way you're most comfortable
Mhm.
and healthiest, you know.
Yeah.
And so it just, I mean, some maybe restriction is great for some people. It's not the way I want to live. I like food too much. If
Well,
you
I'd
don't like
rather I'd
food,
rather restrict all the desserts and stuff like
me
that and
too,
have them on
totally.
special
Yeah,
occasion than restrict fruits and vegetables.
fruit and vegetables. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, we all know that. I mean, our grandmas told us that it's good to eat this stuff and,
Mhm.
it's just wisdom. So,
Mhm.
So Olivia, what do you think? You think you have a little bit more vim and vigor?
I do. Yeah, and I think it was hard for me to pinpoint what I needed help with, because I think I just needed this, just kind of let's feel re-engaged with what I'm doing, feel like I've sort of validated that in this conversation with you, and I'm realizing that I have lots of stories, and that's okay. I know what to do with them. It's really interesting. I reposted something that my brother posted, who's a yoga teacher, and he teaches all over the world and stuff, but he was talking about stories. It's just a short thing, and how he said it was more about poetry, and he uses poetry in his teaching, but he just had a cool phrase about how your a poem, when you say it out loud, or a story, lands on people exactly the way it's supposed to land on them.
That's right.
So that, so it points to the value of many different kinds of stories, right?
And you can't control how it lands on them
No,
either, because it's based upon them. I think one of the biggest things that we talked about today, and I want to make sure you're really clear, we're going to wrap it up, is promotion. You must promote.
Yes.
You must get out amongst the people, and you must spend your week. If you're doing one show a week, you should be promoting it all week, not do it on Wednesday and it's over. If you do it at 5:00 on Wednesday, at 6:02, sitting and criticizing it, well, this was wrong and that was wrong. And no, that's when you should be going out and going, oh my God, I can't believe the phone rang during the middle of this episode, but still we cooked a beautiful whatever. If something happened that's bugging you, like if I had a zit right now, the first thing I do is go, hey, everybody, well, I'm here with a big fat zit on my nose, but hey, it's time to do the live. So we're going to do the live. I would point out the thing that's wrong immediately, because that removes the judgment.
Exactly.
Nobody can judge me. I remember I was on stage once, and I started joking about, I had lost weight at that point, and I said, listen, I used to be so big I had to beep when I backed up, and the audience went wild. But the reason why I did it is because I didn't like the way my outfit was fitting on me. And I was feeling not confident. And so I figured, well, let me just point out that I'm fat right now. Let me just say it. And then and people came up to me and they were all hugging me and, oh my God, you're so incredible. You look incredible. What are you talking about? And so I actually reversed the thing that was driving me crazy. And I've done that ever since. So if you
That's
have
a good idea.
It's not a screw up, but if you have a flub, an outtake or whatever, I might even take the video, rip it off of YouTube or rip it off of Facebook, take that little section of your face as you're trying to keep a straight face while the phone is ringing and go, this happened today. Look at my face. Is this the most ridiculous thing? As if there's no phones in people's homes, And people will go watch it to watch that.
That's a good idea.
You're not realizing that the mistake is actually the thing that endears them to you. It's not a mistake. I shouldn't even use that word, but the flub, the blooper. Why do we love blooper reels?
It's the humanity of it. It makes us all feel better.
Write that down, the humanity of it. And maybe you just, Olivia, embrace your humanity.
Yeah. Thank you. That really helps.
Okay. And so promotion, embrace the humanity.
Okay.
And don't be shy about talking about the things that you're promoting and telling people, hey, reach out to me. Let me know if you want some more info. Okay. I find that a lot of people, they're just afraid to say that. And that's not a pitch. That's just, let me know if you want to take a look. You have a product that's a 7-day sample of a product. It's $29. I say it all the time. People are like, how do you move how many of those 7-day kits? How do you move them? I just always say, hey, if anybody wants to try it, it's 7 days, it's $29. How many times have you heard me say it? I say it all the time. I just said it on here. If anybody wants to try it, contact Olivia. Don't even come to me. Go to Olivia and say, Olivia, I want to try the 7-day. And a lot of people don't want to try it, but a bunch do.
So what? And no one would if you didn't say it, right?
And that's it. You just got to get nimble with it and it's all cool. Just have fun.
That's cool.
Have fun. You are delightful. You're lovable. You're fun to watch on camera, and your food looks damn good. I haven't tasted it yet, but I will. So
you will.
I know.
I wish I could send you some peaches, because I know you said that about. Maybe I can figure
I
out a
want
way.
the peas. No.
The
I can get
peas.
I can get peaches up here. The peas I can't get.
Peas, man, they may be over by now. That was a
No, they're
rare,
over.
like,
That's
they
April,
were,
May.
I mean, and they were shelled. They were bags of them shelled at the
You
camp
can
down the
get them
road.
at Trader Joe's carries shelled peas. And
Yes.
when you're in England, they're in every store everywhere all the time because peas are like the thing in England.
Yeah, they call them English peas here.
When I was a kid, my mom always used to buy peas in the shells and we'd sit and shell them. And I haven't seen peas in the store. It's cherry season now. And all the cherries are coming in the stores this week. They're all on sale this week. So I will go get myself some cherries and not to be crude, but I will eat them until my stomach growls and I fart all day and I will be happy. I live on my own, so I can fart all day.
There you
Sorry,
go.
people, but see, and you're worried about flopping, and I'm sitting here talking about eating cherries and farting. So.
Okay, before you go, the turnips. Here's what I'll tell
Ooh.
you what my mom used to do with turnips.
Okay.
If you slice them really thin, as soon as you can with a knife, or if you have a mandolin, use a mandolin, and put them in salted ice water, and you just pick them out of the water, and they stay crispy. It's like eating chips. They're just
like raw. You mean?
You pull them take them raw right out of the salt water, icy, and they're just refreshing, and they stay crunchy, and they've got
that sounds good
nice,
to me.
It's just a weird little thing my mom did, and nobody else ever does it, but everyone I tell it to loves them. So
I'm on that.
There you go, raw turnips.
Delicious. All right.
Well, thank you so much. This has been really what I needed.
Send my love to Brian and all the puppies and enjoy the cheese ceremony.
For sure. Every night.
And I will see you later.
All
Guys,
right,
this concludes another live work session. And if anybody's looking to do one of these, hit me up. I will be out of town for quite a bit coming up, but I will be booking some more of them. Hit me up, Diane at dianehockman.com. We'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye, Olivia.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thanks.